Hello, everybody. Hello, Darcy. Uh,
I'm
hi, oh, good morning.
do the introduction this morning. So,
Okay.
welcome to Wake and Positive Power with Jemima Godsall. The beautiful, the incredible, and the hysterically funny Jemima.
Oh, hello. Yes, yes.
So,
Welcome. It's
every
100.
morning we come together, well, every we do often, but weekly we come together to discuss these really heavy topics and make each other laugh hysterically.
In the process of it, yeah. Sometimes I think we should have the camera rolling before we even realize we're filming. Because sometimes our conversations, we have funny ones before we go
Oh,
on.
goodness.
And we just had a really funny one, sweating, and now it's just a drama. But we're okay. 100% authentic. Hey, welcome, guys. So today, Darcy's covered just a couple of things, though. There is a disclaimer down below, so please read it. But there's also a 1-800 number there that is more important for anyone that you know or yourself who needs assistance or just needs someone to speak to. 1-800 Suicide Lifeline.
Yeah.
So, as we said, these are heavy topics. The eyelashes back on.
Get all the peanuts out of my eyes. I was laughing so hard.
Anyway, sorry. Yes, so today we thought we'd have a discussion about purpose. Darcy, I have a purpose. Yes, I have two things I want to ask you with this. Firstly, do you know your purpose? And secondly, how does that relate to your sense of well-being, security, self-confidence, worth, etc., etc.? You know, the list can go on, but that's sort of relation to those words.
Gotcha.
Over to you.
Ah!
This is a shared screen, you know that.
Hey, here you go, catch. Purpose is a great topic. You know, I think that purpose is what we all strive to find. And I think that without a purpose is sometimes the root of a lot of our suffering. You know, you need to have a purpose. You need to find it wherever you can in your life. And then you need to hold on to it or allow it to change. It's really important that sometimes you feel your purpose is for one thing, and by doing and going forward, your purpose can change. You know, your dedications can change, and that's okay. You know, so you might find that you feel your purpose in life is to, I don't know, make people happy. So there's a gazillion ways to do that. There's a gazillion ways to do that. And maybe you wanted to do it through entertainment and be a comedian. And then you find you'd rather do it through education and you become a teacher or whatever. So without purpose, we are lost.
Do you know your purpose?
Do I personally know my purpose?
Or
I
you
don't.
just
I really don't. It changes. It changes a lot, you know. And I think that that's something I've been really struggling with for a long time. I know I have certain things I really like to do in life. And then sometimes I feel like I'm on a mission towards something, but I haven't really grasped my total purpose. And that's where I get off track. I get waylaid, you know, that's where my depression can come in. You know, I get old tapes running in my head about my value, my self value. And it's very hard. Is your cat okay? Was that your cat?
I don't know, it was an animal of some sort.
Oh, an animal outside.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that, you know, I get that way if I don't have my purpose clear. And right now I feel like I'm a little closer and closer to my purpose. You know, I'm getting a little closer. It's getting a little clear for me. I think it's also true for people who have a lot of different talents and a lot of different interests. It's harder for them to find something they really want to focus on. You know, like you get those people who are so dedicated to their art or to their discovery, their science, or whatever. I definitely am getting some feedback from you. I can hear feedback from you. I don't know if it's a phone or whatever.
There's nothing on, but I don't know too if I mute you. That's why I didn't mute you last week. Sorry, excuse me, guys. That you're muted too. I'm not sure if that's the case, and I don't want to lose your conversation. Is there still feedback now? Because there's nothing on.
No feedback.
Okay.
I think it's only when I'm talking. Yeah, I'm getting my feedback from myself. All right.
I can't hear it on my end.
Oh, you can't?
No.
Okay, great.
Not at all.
Okay. So anyway, that's my whole thing about purpose. But I did have a revelation about it. I was thinking about it this morning because I knew we were going to talk about it. And I thought that your purpose is what connects you to humanity. This is why being in isolation is so hard for people. Why the pandemic was so hard for people. Because it's very hard to fulfill your purpose or feel your purpose when you're in isolation or by yourself. You know, and whether you're a writer who needs solitary, it's still your writing is going to touch humanity. You know, whether you're a painter and you're painting here, eventually you've got to give it to humanity. I mean, everything we do is going to somehow touch humanity. You know, whether you're a researcher or whatever. So being in isolation, I think a lot of us lost contact with our sense of purpose.
Yeah. I know that going through all the trauma, I didn't know my sense of purpose until I went through all the trauma that I've been through, and then the suicide prevention came through very clearly. Like especially when I was like literally lying after isolation going, what do, Angels? Do I renew my lease? Do I go to a different suburb? They're like, no, you're going on a road trip across America raising awareness for suicide prevention. I was like, what the, huh? Like it was a massive download. Next day I'm phoning mum going, I'm doing this, laughing, going, she goes, but you don't have a car. And I said, I know, I'll get one, I guess. I don't know, what's happening, mum? And it was such a purpose, and it has motivated me continue. That's only been like 2.5 years now.
Right.
It's still such an early development. And as you said, it's changing. It doesn't change in terms of the point of it is not changing, but the way I deliver it or the way I discover how I'm going to become the ambassador for that purpose. Right. It's still very much in a developmental stage and discovering, but I know only through the trauma did I get gifted that purpose or awareness of my purpose. And without it, completely, I didn't even realize that there was a purpose. And you said it's like what makes our life, like makes us part of who we are in this existence. Like I didn't even realize I didn't have a purpose. Like I don't think a lot of people don't realize they need that, not need that. Well, yeah, it's an essential, it's vital to have a purpose within this life. Otherwise, what is the purpose? What's the point? You know,
the reason to be, right?
Yeah.
Your reason to be. There has to be you have to find something that fills your heart and your soul and your, inspires you and excites you, So when we are just going along doing everything automatically and we don't have a sense of purpose behind what we're doing, it really makes our actions and our lives feel hollow sometimes. I think that's the whole point behind empty nesters, that problem of being an empty nester. You live your life to create, this life for your kids, and you create this amazing foundation for your kids, and then you gotta send them off, and if you do it great, they're off and running into the world, and then suddenly your house is empty. The last one graduated and off they go, and they are sitting there going, doo-doo-doo, now it's just me. What do I do to honor myself? Gosh, a lot of parents, a lot of people go through, they don't know themselves. They don't know what they want to do. Oh, maybe I'll take up knitting. Or like people when they retire, their purpose was to do a good job and make a certain amount of money and achieve certain things. Well, they have those things, they got their money, they retired, and now what are they going to do? Oftentimes people find themselves really unsure because, what you're left with is yourself, and to find a greater purpose behind that. I always said that, when I become a millionaire,
Soon, very soon, very soon.
very soon, I would definitely, not be somebody who, retires to their garden. I would really be into, political or societal activism and volunteering. That's the wonderful thing about not having to worry about an income, is then you can actually have a purpose of putting back into society, that sort of business. And there's a lot of people who said to me, well, you can do that now. And I'm like, sure, after working 60 hours a week, I'd be happy to go be an activist.
Yeah, especially with your job, oh my gosh.
Hey, let me just squeeze that in.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Yeah, I think just reminding yourself of how important that each of us are as individuals. Like, we all are essential in this existence. Like, we all need each other for some reason, and if once we have that purpose, then that is our divine plan, our divine part in this massive plan for us as human species. You feel like there is a reason to breathe. Like, you feel like my breath does affect Mother Nature. It does suck in my oxygen and then delivers it back to me. That's the thing. It goes that far. Like, right. It's just so important to know that you're vital. Like, we're all essential as part of this journey. We different every time someone passes away. It's a different journey. It's created, even though it's the same. So it's a subtle awareness. It's just we're all. I don't know. We all just are essential in this universe, and I think it's important to remember that with the purpose we can.
Yes, and to teach that to kids. I'm looking at the whole shooting that happened at the school in Texas and others, mass shootings. And I feel like, they really are missing the boat with understanding how to fight this situation. Well, fight, again, is the wrong word. How to deal with this situation about guns and mass shootings. And these people have no sense of purpose or belonging. That shooter had no sense of belonging and was so hurt and angry. They wanted the rest of the world to feel their hurt and their anger to such a huge degree. Can you imagine all the horrible hurt that all those families are feeling? All the friends of the friends. I mean, that's a huge amount of people that have gotten hurt over this. Yeah. Cousins, grandparents.
And collectively, you even feel it collectively, people.
Collectively. Yeah. And then you go, all of that feeling was inside of that one person. That one person who decided to kill all those people had as much hurt as all of us are feeling collectively. It's because that person was rejected by society, had no one there to fill them up and give them a sense of purpose. I do not believe that 18-year-olds are intrinsically evil.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
You know what I mean? I believe, though, that deep hurt, deep wounds.
Especially with hormones, and not to play a joke on it, like, with hormones at that stage and age, I was a riot as well. Like, I remember being so upset.
So you don't have your brain developed to make good judgment calls completed until you're 25. Your brain doesn't finish developing until it's 25. Then when you start throwing in trauma, difficulties, all sorts of things, they can't really make great decisions at all. But I look at that child and think that person had no sense of purpose, no place in the world, and no body that they had any kind of connection to. And that, to me, is a super tragedy. So wouldn't it be easy to fight gun violence with filling people up with a sense of purpose, to make sure that no one gets overlooked, that everybody gets fed in their minds and their souls, that they're here for a reason, and that we're here to help you, support you, find your way, find your reason to be, find your purpose, right? And it's just amazing to me that so a sense of purpose is so important.
It's such a huge topic. Like, it's such a huge, like, we just skimmed like the very surface of it. So deep. Everybody, like, interpretation of purpose, like what, and some people who who don't feel that need to have a purpose. Do they not know what purpose is? That their purpose? Same thing is that. I don't know. Like there's just so many layers.
Yeah, I mean, there are definitely people who are ego-driven, who feel that their purpose is for themselves. I'm here because I want to be happy. It's not one of our credos. We're entitled to be happy. Sure. So if that's your purpose is to be happy, off you go. Have a great time. You're also going to have to deal with humanity in there. And so making yourself happy, how do you touch others? How are you affected by others? And what is that sense of purpose in you making you happy? Because you can't live in isolation, So your happiness is going to depend on how you deal with the rest of the world.
Okay, so now I have to spring on you. Card.
Oh, a card.
Can we do a card?
All right.
Yeah, just I don't know. I've been
How do you feel about your purpose?
My purpose is it's fantastic. What an honor to be an ambassador for suicide prevention. But I've got a story to tell, so it's great to be able to use my story with the balls behind it, as in terms of like going, it sucked and it was hard, but I'm willing to say you can do it. But I'm still not quite sure the full way to reach people like this. I want this to be in part of it, as in this channel. I'd love this to be bigger and more diverse, and just the whole thing. But that's coming in time. Obviously, we've only been doing this for a year or so. So yeah, what my purpose is for is fantastic, but how I'm still maneuvering it and getting it and molding it and creating it is unknown. And I'm just trying to go with the flow, and trying to see.
Do you feel that helps your depression though, when you get
yes
in your funk?
Oh yeah, I mean, even every morning, I don't know if you know, online I post a positive thing for suicide prevention, and every morning sometimes I don't feel like it. I feel like F the world too, and that's normal, and that's why I've got to embrace that, and just to get that a bit like my rituals in the morning. It just gets me up, gets me going, gets me doing a good thing, and it gets me focused on reminds myself of what I'm meant to be doing. That's the whole thing. And I see the words too, suicide prevention through awareness. Like it's like, yeah, I get it, and that's what I'm going to be a ambassador for, a strong, proud ambassador for a survival of suicide. And it's I will do what I can to be a voice for it, and I'm still working out how that will be. But yeah, it just definitely helps me amazing percent. And the more I'm doing it, the more I realize it is helping. The more, because I'm still so young into it, I'm still going, oh wow, that is actually. Or being asked that question reinforces and goes, shit, yeah, oh, pardon me. It does affect me in a really positive way to do with my purpose,
Right, to find where you are in that. So that when the ego comes forward and starts whining and complaining and doubting, right? You don't know what you do, here you are, blah, 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 all those kind of negative self-talk. You can go back to your purpose and say, regardless, this is what I feel I'm really brought here to do, and remind yourself.
Also, I've never been so sure of never attempting suicide again. Like I never will do it again. I just know that I'm a vessel for a survivor of a suicide attempt, and I don't want to fuck that up, and I will use a swear word there. I've been gifted that gift from the download, from the saying you're going on a road trip. I got to remember that was a massive gift and a massive awakening of what my purpose was, and to never forget that. And so I can't do that to myself, let alone to the angels, let alone the guides, my family, you guys, my friends, everyone. It's like I just can't do it. I know that it's secure within myself, even though I get the feeling often daily. I get the suicidal thoughts. It's a habit. It's innate in me. It's something I have to work through daily. I'm never going to do it. It's awesome.
Good for you. My God, that's amazing to hear you say that. That's really wonderful. Okay. I mean, that just gives me such inspiration to hear you say that. Thanks for sharing.
Cool.
So
Awesome.
as a result, I pulled a card from the Energy Oracle cards. Oracle cards by Sandra Ann Taylor. And I pulled the 4th Chakra Archangel Raphael card.
The heart.
The heart.
Woohoo!
is while you were talking. So this is what I prayed while you were telling us that. It says love, compassion, and self-acceptance. Raphael extends a beautiful green energy surrounded by gentle waves of pink to your heart center. Okay.
I'm getting dizzy.
This card upright indicates that you have a greater readiness to receive love from others as well as from yourself. It could also indicate that a much needed healing from a previous broken heart is taking place.
Mhm.
Oh, it could also indicate that a much needed healing from a previous broken heart is taking place. I just want to repeat that. The tender vibrations of Raphael remind you to encourage yourself with the compassionate self-talk that you desire to hear from others.
Mhm.
That's really important. How we talk to ourselves. We need to talk to ourselves the way we want to be spoken to and the way, hopefully, we are learning to speak to others, right?
And also how we want to be a representative of our behavior. You know, how do I want to see other people to see me? You know, like not for their thank you, not for that self-gratification, but how do I want to show up? Like, how do I want to really be perceived? Anyway, sorry.
Yeah. Know that as you do, the light from your heart center will shine with an irresistible beauty, and the universe will send people and situations that cause your sense of love and support to grow and grow and grow. So you might not know, but you must know that it is happening because you are doing it.
Yeah, I mean, we're creating a space for healers to heal, and I just know there's big things for people in terms of us healing and our healing and what we can give to people. I don't know. It just
I think that this is part of this dynamic shift of this new generation coming through, you know. So here's your affirmation to go with your purpose today. It is, my heart center, my fourth chakra, is open to its perfect, healthy, and joyful state. The energy of love flows through me now. I live in love.
All right, I'll take that. It's beautiful.
I'll take that.
Yeah.
Right here and work.
Just go to tattoo's place and go, that place right here.
You stick that on me today. Yeah.
Beautiful. Well, on that note, thank you guys. Awesome. Think about your purpose. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Darcy, you're beautiful. Great to laugh with you.
Thank you.
And, there's a fly. Take care, guys. Bye.